So this is the second video on how to sew skirt. So I have my pieces here. I have the skirt. Let me try and adjust. I'm trying to adjust the camera. So this, I have the front and the back. Then I have my zip. So I'm going to be using this smaller size zip because it's a small skirt and basically there's nobody who's going to wear it. But I would expect that this is the kind of zip that you would use, because this is actually better, it's stronger than this one, but I will be using this one instead. So the first thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to sew my darts. So remember how we marked the dart? I'm going to do the same marking on my lining before I sew it up. I'll do the same marking on my lining. So I just get the positioning of my darts for the lining. So I'm just doing tiny notches there. I just do tiny notches here and here. Okay? And then for the front lining too, I'm going to do the same thing to get the positioning of the darts. Let me just move this forward so that you can see what I mean. So I'm doing the same thing for here. So this is it, and this is it. So now I know where my darts are. So I would sew the darts of the front first, of the fabric first. So I put my machine close to me. Okay, so this is the front. Remember how I said I mark my darts? So that's the points there. So I place it on the machine. It's going to be sewn like a triangle. So my machine is threaded already. So I sew. So this is it. See. So I come in and then I sew just the way you marked it. It's exactly how you are going to sew it. So from here down there. So I'm going to do the same thing here. Remember that your dart is 4 inches long. I'm doing 3 inches for this one because it's just a sample to show you how it should be done. So that's the points. I reverse and then I continue to. Okay. So now I've sewn in my darts. I hope you can see. So this is my dart here and this is my dart here. So I've sewn in both. Yeah. So that's it for the front, and then for the back I'm going to do the same thing. We already marked it. So I go in that way, 3 inches long. I'm seriously controlling the camera to be sure that we can capture as much as possible. So this can help. Hopefully we will get our videos very soon. Right? Okay, that's good. So I've done the same thing. I've sewn the darts for the back, sewn the darts for both the front and the back. So the next thing I'm going to do, I want to sew in my zip. Okay, so remember that our zip allowance is 1 inch for the back. So I'll pick up my zip in your own case. Okay, so this is it. This is one mistake that most students always make. When you want to start sewing your zip, you don't start from the stopper. This is the stopper. This here. This tiny metal here at the stopper. That's what stops the zip from going beyond that point. So when you start sewing, you don't start sewing from the stopper. You leave about just a few, maybe about half an inch. So because that part will go into your band. Whatever is left here is what goes into your band. So that's where you start. That's where you place the zip. and you start sewing from. So, and then there's a stopper just below here. There's a stopper. So when you're sewing your skirt, you're going to be stopping about 1 inch above this stopper. 1 inch, half an inch, but you do 1 inch because you just might make a mistake. So do 1 inch. Stop sewing from half above, 1 inch above the stopper. I'm going to be doing way more than that, because you know this is really long and the skirt is short. So I'm just going to sew about 4.5 inches of this zip in. That's what I'm going to sew in. So on that my 4.5 inch point, yeah, on that one, on my one inch zip allowance, remember this is my 1 inch zip allowance, I already marked it. So from that your 4.5 inch point, I will sew a straight line. Remember your hem allowance is 2 inches for your skirt, so 2 inches plus 5 inches for your slit, that will give you 7